Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Women's Volleyball Edition. And my guest for this week's show is none other than senior middle blocker on the women's volleyball team here at Menlo College, Emily Sunada. Emily, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm glad that this time we get to do the interview actually in person together as opposed to being 2,800 miles apart on the country like it was the first time during Unrooted. So welcome to the normal way to do
I know,
Unrooted.
you're very fancy with all your technology.
We try. We try to. Now, last week, Nicole DiMartino told me on the show that you've made the transition into kind of the team's mama bear role, which I know was held by Bailey Gomez in the past. What has this year been like for you, knowing that you're not able to necessarily play during your senior season because of some injuries, but you're still there providing for the team?
At first, it was kind of tough. Me and Denise went over, what my role would be, basically. And so after navigating through that, it kind of is like a mama bear role, just making sure that everyone is where they're supposed to be, they have everything they need, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So it's been a different part of it, I guess, a different way to go into the season, especially since it's my last year. So it was tough in the beginning to not be able to play and have an on-court relationship with anyone, but I'm glad that we determined what it was, and I like the role I'm in right now. So.
Yeah, and you're still a voice on the sidelines, of course, and has that kind of, with you being a senior middle blocker, you've been here longer than almost anybody on the team, has that kind of helped lead you into a bit of a mentorship role with maybe some of the other middles? Yeah,
so when I went over my role, what my role was going to be with Denise, we discussed basically helping out the middles, because I don't know enough to coach Lucy, like a libero. I just don't know that kind of information. So I've definitely been helping out with Jaden and Abby, and they're making great progress. And it's kind of cool to be on both sides of it, getting to kind of coach a little bit, but then also still being a part of the team. I think it's a really good balance, and we figured it out really well. So
now take me back through your 4 years as an Oak. We're going to do a little reflecting here. Even though we still have this whole senior season left to play out, what are some of your favorite moments that you've personally been a part of here at Menlo?
For sure, my favorite moment was Oktoberfest last year when we beat Masters. That was, I've never played in a match we were so competitive. We were in this flow state, we knew exactly what we needed to do, super prepared for it, and that game was just a lot of fun, the energy in the gym, and that was really cool. So I think that was probably one of the best moments I've had here playing. And then I think another one was Vanguard. We always have a really fun time playing them, and unfortunately last year we went 1-1 with them, but to beat them in 5 was it was such a crazy feeling. We were all so excited about it. We had worked really hard. We'd done our scout, and so I think that was definitely a top moment for that too.
What I love about both of those moments is that they both came last season. Yeah. There were so many incredible moments over the course of the 2018 season. Yeah. I mean, you ladies went 5 in a third of your matches, I think it was. So you had basically a high energy, grinded out kind of match almost every single week, and it led to some thrilling moments.
Yeah, it was really cool. But that's the best volleyball. When it's tiring for sure to go to 5, but I don't know, something about the energy of it, and the fact that you're fighting so hard for something, and you know that you have all these sets to go, it's a really cool feeling.
But of course, at the same time, it's also very nice to sweep the Masters University at home on senior night when Haynes Prim just has this buzz about it that is just almost unparalleled.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a really good game. I'll always remember that game.
I agree. That was one of the top moments as well for me. Now let's talk about the team here a little bit. The Oaks are back at home after the first tournament of the year when you went up to Rockland and the Warrior Invitational. In the opener, the Oaks took a set from 6th-ranked Southern Oregon. What led to that just absolutely white-hot start for the Oaks?
Well, I think when we scouted Southern Oregon, we knew that they were a really tall team, and we're pretty undersized except for I think Jaden and Kristen are our tallest people. So we've put a big emphasis on serve, receive, and defense, because if we can be good at that, then we can kind of compensate for the areas that we're not like as strong in. So I think our passing was pretty good at that game, but I think our defense is really what helped us. And then one thing that we've really focused on is like communicating and helping each other like throughout the game and throughout the play and things like that. So I think we transferred that really well in that first set for that match. And
of course, it also helps to have Moya Kegawoha on your side. We'll get to her in just a moment. But for a team that doesn't have the biggest roster size like the Oaks, how do you all try to stay fresh during weekends where you're playing 4 games in 2 days? That's not easy.
Yeah, it's hard, especially because I can't play, Kim can't play, Lucy was hurt, and Cassie, one of our other players, has a concussion right now. So we're down to like 8 people who can play. So those 8 who play constantly, like it's really tough for them. And I mean, even last year it was tough to like go through tournaments and play that many games in a week and trying to recover after that. But I think one of the really big things that we've really tried to put an emphasis on, since I've been a freshman, is nutrition. Like we've had a lot of help from, Vic and Carl and Josh and all of them. So just like fueling our bodies, making sure we're going to bed at good times, like getting enough sleep, making sure that like after we're icing, we're heating, we're getting treatment, we're doing whatever we can to, allow us to play further.
For sure. Shout out to the sports performance and sports nutrition staff, because without them, and that's something that not a lot of schools have.
Yeah.
And so with that added resource to help you guys through the season, I'm sure that's a huge benefit. Now let's talk about Mo.
Yes.
She's one of your best friends on the team, and she has been on fire to begin the season.
Yeah.
She had 6 kills in that opening set win against Southern Oregon.
Yeah.
What does she mean to this team from an attacking perspective, but I guess also you could take it twofold and go just from an overall player perspective, because she's all over the court.
Yeah, she's crazy. Like even in high school, when we played together, she has always been very good at everything. So for us this year, especially because we have a lot, like our roster is a lot smaller than it has been in the past, she really produces a lot for us. And she's kind of stepped into a new role. Like she's become like a leader for us, especially on the court, which is exactly what we needed. And she's a very calm presence.
Yeah.
And she takes ownership for like everything, and she's just very, I don't know, she's killing it. And yeah, she's doing awesome.
She's killing it literally and figuratively, because to end the month of August, she already has 110 kills.
Oh, I know.
In August alone.
I know.
I mean, those are some ridiculous numbers, and easily one of the best marks in the NAIA. Now, conference play begins this weekend. As a matter of fact, I get to say conference play begins today, because we're filming and producing Unrooted all on the same day. So this is awesome. Come on out to Haynes Prim tonight as Menlo College takes on Hope International. Life Pacific is tomorrow. Is preparation any different when you're going up against conference foes?
Not really. We've put an emphasis this year on like doing everything like it would be in a game. So all of our practices, like we don't change our practice plan or anything like that. It's just the scout basically. Like when we do video, obviously the scout is different for each team that we play. But other than that, we're always doing the same thing. We prepare the same way. Every day of the week we have a specific way that we train. So yeah, it's been pretty much the same, but we do work on like different things, especially on the Thursday practice before we play teams like that are specific to the team we're going to play.
Scout may be different, but it's all about playing your style of volleyball. I heard that a lot last year from you ladies, and if you play your style of volleyball, more times than not, you're going to come out on top.
Yeah.
All right, Emily, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions. Give me your best answers.
Okay.
Question number 1, which teammate has the largest collection of teddy bears?
I don't know anyone that collects teddy bears, but I mean, as far as like collections go, I guess Jaden has, I guess not like a collection, but she has a lot of arts and crafts things.
Okay.
So, I mean, teddy bears, when I was a kid, my mom didn't let me have stuffed animals at all.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not really sure what that was about, but
yeah, I was going to ask,
it's kind of traumatizing as a child to not have stuffed animals.
Yeah, I don't think I know a single, granted, I don't ask, hey, did you ever have any stuffed animals? Hey, did you have stuffed animals? But I don't really know of anyone who...
Well, we had pets, too. Like, we had a dog who would rip up everything, so I think it was kind of like the attachment when you're a kid, and then also, like, you have this dog that's going to, like, tear everything apart anyway.
And as a little kid, you're obviously leaving your stuff everywhere over the house. Yeah. Yes, so maybe that's a good idea.
But, I mean, I would like to have at least a stuffed animal collection and then pass them on to people later.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not too old to start.
I know.
That's certainly true. Especially you go to like Costco and get one of those like 6 foot tall, ginormous
I know, those
bears.
I love those.
They're like $120. Totally worth it, by the way. They're amazing. But yeah, you get one of those.
Yeah. And you're set.
And you're set for life with that thing. Question number 2, which teammate has the worst memory?
Definitely me or Jaden. I forget everything. Like, you can tell me something right now, and if you ask me about it half an hour later, I won't remember it at all.
What did we just talk about like 5 seconds ago?
Teddy bears.
Okay, good.
Like, if you ask me anything that I talked about, like, in the first interview, like, like, the first questions, to repeat anything, I wouldn't know. Which
I think is probably a perfect segue into question number 3, because we talked about this off air and you had no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah.
If you could create one item on the Taco Bell menu, what type of thing would you create?
I like this question because when was it, my freshman year or sophomore year?
It was sophomore year for you.
I did an Unrooted, and you asked me what my favorite late night snack was, right?
Yeah, well, yes. I think the question stemmed from Taco Tuesday.
Oh,
Who likes Taco Tuesday the most? And then you said Taco Bell is where it's at.
Yeah.
Which then led into the conversation of you talking about how Taco Bell was your late night go-to.
Yeah, so. Love Taco Bell.
Yes.
My favorite thing from there is I don't even know what it's called. It's a Gordita Crunch.
Okay.
I think that's the name of it. Yeah. And it's like a soft taco, and it has like all the taco stuff in the middle, but then it's a hard taco, and then it has a soft taco attached to it with cheese. But I think I also like the Crunchwrap Supremes. So if they could like do that all in one.
Combine them, huh?
Yeah.
You'd have to probably put the exterior of the cheesy Gordita Crunch.
Yeah.
So that like crunchy but cheesy middle filling thing. I don't know. Wrap that around a Crunchwrap Supreme.
Yeah.
Maybe like the new triple double one that they have out right now. That's a little plug for Taco Bell. I just had that a couple nights ago. Just saying. That would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty tasty.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
So that would be that'd be so good.
Oh, it would be. The so cheesier, the tortilla that's not even a word, but I'm going to make it a word. The more tortilla, the more cheese, the more beef. We're only like an hour away from lunch, or less than an hour away from lunch, actually.
We're at like a weird time.
Yeah, it is a weird time, but the cafeteria is about to open, and I want to rush over there when it does, because now all of a sudden I'm very hungry thinking about Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Dangerous game to be playing, folks. Emily, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome, folks. The women's volleyball team, they are at home. Yes, in fact, it is tonight as Menlo College women's volleyball hosts Hope International University with first serve at 5 o'clock. Todd Hollenbeck looking at us through the window of the conference room that we are in. A little plug for the Menlo College men's volleyball team who will be helping out tonight at the scorer's table. First serve, 5 o'clock, pregame show, 4:45 with me, Brian Brownfield, on the Menlo College Sports Network. And then Saturday, Life Pacific at 12 o'clock. We invite you to tune into the next episode of Unrooted Women's Volleyball Edition when Emily Sunada will select the next interviewee by me, Brian Brownfield, right here on the show. Until then, we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.